So today we're breaking down how to scale past the $100,000 per month ceiling in your high-ticket e-commerce business using the exact 5-step system I've used to hit over $500,000 per month while working fewer hours. Most founders believe in order to grow past $100,000 months, they need to double down on SEO or Google Ads. That if they just got a few more backlinks so their SERP rankings were a bit better, it would make all the difference because that's what's worked to get them this far. But just doing more of what got you to $100,000 per month won't get you to $500,000 per month. The good news is, over the past 10 plus years, I've built and refined a proven 5-step system that transforms how you can run and grow your high-ticket e-commerce business and actually work less. So if you're new here, g'day, my name is Matthew Scott. I started a high-ticket dropshipping e-commerce business back in 2015, and since then I've built, bought and sold multiple 7-figure stores, generating over $30 million in sales. But more importantly, I've lived every stage of this journey, from doing it all myself to scaling teams, importing products, and building brands that run without me. So if your business is stuck generating under $100,000 per month, I know exactly what you're facing and how to help you break through it. So step 1 in this journey is to evolve into a CEO mindset. And here's what I mean. Every high-ticket dropshipper starts their journey in their minds first, well before they have a business. It's not crystal clear, it's not a proven path, but it's a vision of what it could be. This is exactly what needs to happen in step 1. You need to evolve again. And actually just this week, a memory popped up on my Facebook feed of me from 8 years ago wearing a t-shirt I got from a dropshipping retreat that had Chief Everything Officer written in big bold letters on the front. And I remember I was so proud of being the one that did it all, and for good reason. I'd made a huge transformation, just like you likely have, from being an employee to a business owner. And just a little side note, Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of those paradigm-changing books that created a clear pivot point in my life, going from E to B, so from that employee to that business owner, was absolutely amazing. But as amazing as evolving to a B from an E is, for me, this wasn't the end goal. And if you're stuck at under $100,000 a month in sales, it might be a sign that the same shift has become a trap for you. You start to identify as your store, you identify as your niche, and that identity becomes a ceiling for you. So this is where you need to start thinking like a CEO, or in the context of Rich Dad Poor Dad, like an investor, not a store owner. CEOs don't do the task, they design the business and steer it in the right direction. So a great place to start is to audit your time, which you can start by asking, what tasks are making me the most money versus the ones that aren't? What tasks are giving or what tasks are draining my energy? Then start picturing the CEO version of you. What does that look like? What does your days involve? What does your inbox look like on a Monday morning? So to create change, we first must imagine it in our minds. But if you don't evolve, your business can't either. Every scaling plateau is first a mindset plateau, but once you stop being the bottleneck, everything else, so systems, hiring, scaling, it all becomes possible. And here's the thing, once you've broken through that mindset bottleneck, the game changes completely, because the next move you make in step 2 will decide how fast and how far you can scale from here. For most high-ticket dropshipping e-commerce founders to truly scale past $100,000 months, you need profit margins that let you buy back your time. And that doesn't happen early in dropshipping. It only becomes possible once you've moved into what I like to call phase 3, which is importing and owning your own products. And here's how this plays out. First, run your high-ticket dropshipping store for at least 12 months to gather data on your best products. And make sure you get as many suppliers on board as possible and have had at least 6 to 12 months in selling all of their products. Second, negotiate with your top suppliers and move into what I like to call phase 2, which is holding stock. This is where you start to get a feel for what it's like to hold stock. You're learning about 3PLs, about warehouse costs, about insurances, managing stock, but you're doing it on a small and safe level. Plus, you're getting better margins or even access to non-dropship brands that your competitors can't get. And finally, when you've got proven winners, identified gaps in the market, you import the top-selling, non-existent but in-demand products yourself. That's where you can drastically improve your margins and generate the cash flow to hire, delegate, and actually scale your business. And this is why so many founders stall. They try to push for growth with low margin dropshipping products when the margins just aren't there to generate the profits they need to be able to grow. But as good as this sounds, it's not just as simple as bolting on your own branded products. You're still the bottleneck. Until you replace yourself in the right order, you're still going to have the same amount of work on your plate. And this brings us to step number 3, which is to replace yourself. So once you've got the margins from your own branded products, the next bottleneck in your business isn't sales or marketing. It's actually you. You're still the one holding all the pieces together. And that's not a business, that's just a job. Your real role as a founder is to design the machine, not run every cog yourself. So in this step, you're going to follow what I like to call the replacement ladder. The goal is simple. Find the tasks that take you the most amount of hours out of your day, but generate the least income. This is the exact list you created back in step 1 before. So what you're going to do is you're going to start at the bottom of that ladder by hiring the person who's going to take the most time consuming and least income generating tasks off your plate. And then just keep hiring your way up that replacement ladder. For me, this started with sales and customer service. Once I had a team in place for those, the next obvious move was to bring in a manager to run those different departments. And with my time freed up, I could finally focus on the higher value hires, like hiring someone for content creation and hiring someone for marketing. That's when you really start to feel the shift from being stuck in the day-to-day to actually running a business that works without you and works for you. So once those key areas are covered, the next big hire you need in your business is what's called an operations manager. Someone to oversee all of those departments so you're not the go-between anymore. And after that, the org chart is about filling the specialist roles. So things like accounts and quality control and legal. And remember, in the early stages of your business, one strong hire can actually wear multiple hats if their skill set allows. So you can have someone who also is working in sales but has some legal knowledge and can do the legal things on the side for you. But this step, as I mentioned, is where I see so many founders stall and they get stuck here. So if you don't solve this, it doesn't matter how good your systems or your products are, you'll always be the cap on your growth. But when you hire in the right order and with the right people, you're not just building a team, you're building a system that runs without you being the chief everything officer, like what I was so proud to be. But even with the best team in the world, if your systems aren't bulletproof, you'll end up right back in that chaos every time an employee leaves your business or something happens that you can't control. So the real game changer is building systems that run no matter who's in that seat. Hey, hope you're enjoying this video. I wanted to just quickly pop in on reviewing the editing here, and I noticed that I didn't pop in any like or subscribe requests. So if you are getting any value out of this video whatsoever, I would love it absolutely if you could give it a thumbs up, and it would mean the world if you would subscribe as well so you can get more content from myself as soon as I publish it. And leave me a comment. What are your thoughts on this video so far? Is there any other topics that you would like me to cover on high ticket dropshipping, on business mindset, on Shopify automations, anything like that? I'd love for you to comment and let me know. Enjoy the rest of the video. Cheers. So in the last step, we replace you with other people so your business can run independently of you. But to have a truly bulletproof business, really, you need systems that can run no matter who's in your business. And here's what I mean. So most e-commerce businesses have some processes and some SOPs, but a lot of the time they live in someone's head, whether it's yours or your employees. And that works fine until that person quits or goes on holiday or just forgets one of the steps. So instead, what you want is a simple, clear ecosystem of this, then that. Every task has an SOP. And here's the key. The person doing the work is the one writing and updating it. That way it's always current and it's written in a way that actually makes sense in the real world for the person who's doing it. So I like to think of SOPs as the instruction manual, the how-to for every task in your business. But a manual alone isn't enough. You also need trackers. And I'm talking about product trackers, collection trackers, stock trackers, performance dashboards, staff performance trackers, and all the rest. The goal is to build it once, turn it into a template, and then use it over and over again so the system works no matter who's running it. And when you've got systems like this in place, it doesn't matter if someone leaves, gets promoted, or you spin up a whole new store, the machine keeps running. And that's when scaling stops feeling like starting over every time and starts feeling like copy and paste. So this leads us to the final step, which is what I like to call go wide or rinse and repeat. So you now have a predictable, repeatable system that's not reliant on you or any one person. A great way to grow your business from here is to compound it. This is just a matter of taking what you've learned from building and running one successful e-commerce business and using it to spot the next opportunity to build your next dropshipping store. So now that you have a far deeper knowledge of your marketplace, you can start to build your own set of criteria for what makes a great e-commerce business. Not just from a dropshipping perspective, but from a profit and product perspective. You're not going to follow the same advice for when you created your first dropshipping business and just look for other stores that do the same thing as a proof of concept. Instead, look for gaps where no one else is doing it, but you can still quantify demand based off what you know about your market. Or lean into your business's unique skills and advantages. For us in our business, that's importing really big products or ones that require engineering certification because that's where we've had real life experience. This is how you can create your own blue ocean, a space where you're not competing for scraps, but actually owning the market. It's the shift from chasing trends and fighting over margins to building a portfolio of businesses that each dominate their own space, all running without you. So we've just covered the exact 5 steps I use to scale past $100,000 months without burnout, from evolving your mindset and escaping operations to going deep with your own branded products and building bulletproof systems and finally compounding it all and going wide. And with this step-by-step framework, you've now seen how to turn a business that depends on you into a machine that runs and grows without you. This is how you go from being trapped as that chief everything officer to being the CEO of a business that works for you. So imagine having the freedom to finally say yes to the things you've been putting off for years, whether that's waking up without an alarm or packing up and traveling around the country with your family. And if you want to see exactly what that looks like for me, check out this video here on how I scaled to $9 million in sales, all while traveling around Australia in a caravan with my family for 2 years. Thanks for watching, my friends. See you in the next one.